You may know that Congress adjourned even earlier than expected for our August recess, and I have been out and about across the district every day since adjournment. And here is a quick recap of what we've done in the district this week. On Friday, I joined my colleague, Congressman Pumphrey, in Baltimore to honor the life and legacy of the late Congressman Elijah Cummings by dedicating a post office in his name. He fought, as everybody knows, for so many of our American values, including our federal workers, and it was a beautiful dedication with his family that day. On Monday, I was back in Baltimore, this time with 6 of the 10 Team Maryland, exercising our legal right to visit and access ICE detention facilities. Unfortunately, as you've seen, we were turned away, even though we did give advance notice, and we again have that legal right on behalf of the American people to exercise congressional oversight of the executive branch. On Tuesday, we crisscrossed the district, starting at the Boys and Girls Club in Howard County, visiting their summer camp. And it's such an incredible camp where kids are learning how to cook healthy meals and do art classes. And it was a really wonderful experience. And there are Boys and Girls Clubs across the 3 counties I represent. And I was so grateful to visit them that day. I then also sat down with our district office team where we talked about constituent casework, how we're triaging the problems that our constituents are experiencing, and a reminder to always call our office if we can help with anything IRS, Social Security, Veterans Administration, any federal issue. Then I sat down with a number of constituents across the district, and it just happened that it became kind of an interfaith day, sitting down with constituents in the Jewish community to talk about Holocaust remembrance, sitting down with United Maryland Muslim Council to talk about concerns in ways that I can be helpful around immigration and other issues, and then sitting down with the congregants of St. Anne's Church in Annapolis to talk about their outreach and how they can better support the community. Wednesday morning, we started early by touring the Francis Scott Key Bridge ruins. I joined my congressional colleagues and Governor Moore and local leaders to walk through the demolition, which is underway. Reminder that I'm so grateful to be on a federal delegation that was able to secure full federal funding for the demolition and the reconstruction of the bridge where the Key Bridge stood. And it was simply astonishing to be on that bridge today, thinking about praying for the families of the 6 construction workers who lost their lives that evening, and also thinking about what's next. And stay tuned for details of demolition and the rebuild. From there, we went back home and I was able to work on the Congressional App Challenge, which is really exciting. And it's a reminder to folks at home, middle school and high school students, to get your App Challenge application in by October 30th. It's a really cool project we do in Congress. We'll post more information about that. Afterwards, we gathered environment and climate leaders across the 3rd District at the Mike Bush Library to have our very first environmental roundtable, talking about, unfortunately, many of the cuts of this administration and DOJ and federal funding and civil servants as it relates to environment and climate, but also looking to the future and legislation that I can champion on their behalf. It was a really great conversation, the first of many. And then from there, we went on to tour Home Depot in Annapolis. And why Home Depot, you might ask? Well, they are one of the largest employers in the 3rd Congressional District, and I was able to visit with employees, hear from them directly about what makes them so passionate about their work, the values that the company has, and also their work in the community, particularly around hiring veterans, is really near and dear to my heart. Friday starts on a boat where I joined the Coast Guard Annapolis to tour their facility and get out on the water and see how they keep our coasts and my constituents safe each and every day. So special thanks and shout out to them for hosting me. Even in the midst of the summer, it was a great experience. From there, we went on to meet with Maryland Oncology and talk about the healthcare needs in the district with a particular focus on the recent cuts and upcoming cuts to Medicaid and how that impacts, again, my constituents here in the 3rd District. After that, we went on to Planned Parenthood in Annapolis and again talked about those Medicaid cuts and how that is going to negatively impact the health care, the lives and the livelihoods of so many people in our district. And I'm going to continue to advocate for women's health care, the basic needs that we all have in our communities, and full funding of Planned Parenthood. From there, we went on to the Rotary Crab Feast in Annapolis, which is one of my favorite traditions, and just to see my constituents and be with neighbors, and of course, eat some great Maryland blue crabs. And from there, I made a quick stop at a pickleball tournament supporting local nonprofits in Anne Arundel County, like the Lighthouse Shelter and the Food Bank. Just a wonderful tournament in support of, frankly, the institutions that are there for our neighbors on their worst days. It's been a whirlwind district week, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And frankly, I'm really grateful not to be in Washington and grateful to be with my constituents back here in the 3rd.